things hard. Okay. TPN is total paternal nutrition, which means basically you get your food through your veins. So that's how you're fed instead of eating orally. It has like, each person's TPN is like specifically formulated for them. So I make sure like they have all their vitamins they need, everything to make sure their electrolytes are in check. You can also inject like medicines into it. My TPN that I'm on now, we inject Pepsid into it. And then there's like different central lines you can get, because if you try and do TPN through a regular IV, it will burn your veins and it will hurt really, really bad. Just personal experience. There's PICC lines that you can get, which are through your arm. I still have a hole for mine. A Hickman, which is what I have now. I don't know if you guys can see, but this is my bandage where my Hickman is. Broviac, and then you can also get a port. This is my TPN. So let me get it out. Yeah. My TPN goes for 16 hours a day. And this is what it looks like. Mine has like different things I need to make sure that I'm getting the nutrition I need to survive, because right now I'm not able to eat by mouth. So if you guys want to look at it later, you can. And then there's like a machine that programs it and helps it go through. So I'm on that 16 hours a day, and usually I do it at night so I don't have to carry it around with me all day, and then I stop it usually at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. The only thing is, like with all the treatments for gastroparesis, there's always side effects. So some of the complications that you can get from TPN are liver damage, which will cause even more problems. But when you can't eat, you have to kind of like outweigh the pros and the cons. And another thing you can get is sepsis, which can be fatal. I've had friends that I've met through support groups that have gastroparesis that have passed away from sepsis. And it's really difficult. You have like a really high fever, you get chills, your blood pressure drops real low, and it's just a horrible thing to go through. And it's sad because a treatment that's supposed to be helping you can also be fatal. So, this is the gastric neurostimulator, and that's what it actually looks like. Sorry, that was fine. Mine's implanted. It's located here is the actual device, and then like the leads go up to my stomach, and it shocks it to make my stomach contract to push my food through. It's made by Medtronic. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Medtronic or not. Has anybody? They make a lot of like pacemakers and different stimulators for different diseases. I have booklets later if anybody wants to look at it to talk more about it. So.
Can I show your X-ray?
Hmm?
Do you want to show your X-ray of it?
Oh. Okay. Hopefully.
Hold it in front of the light.
Maybe this will show up. This is my actual stimulator, and mine is located lower. Most people, usually the surgeons will place it higher in their abdomen, and then it has leads that go through and they connect to your stomach.
What if you put it up?
Should I pass it around? Or?
I don't know.
They can look
Does
at it.
that kind of see it? We'll pass it around.
I didn't think about that.
Sorry. Pass it around the stimulator.
So, not everybody is a candidate for the gastric stimulator. you have to have a bunch of testing done to make sure that it's going to work for you. And some people that have also like damage to like their small bowel or something, it's not always a good option. But if it's usually just your stomach that's not working, sometimes you can be a candidate for it. Most of the time it works better for people that have gotten gastroparesis through diabetes, but it's also been known to work through some people that have it idiopathic as well. So this is the machine that they use for the intraduodenal manometry. I never know how to say that word. But there's only a few places that have that test, and usually I have to go to like a motility clinic for it. I went to Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, and they had me do this test. They have to like place a tube down your nose through your whole digestive system. And inside that tube, there's smaller tubes that have holes in them, and they fill it with water, and they see like the pressure of it and see like if your stomach is working or not, and what part of the digestive system is not working, so they know how to treat me better. This test also diagnosed me with visceral hyperalgesia, and it also told me that I was a stimulator for, I was a candidate for the stimulator. So that's kind of what the machine looks like. It has the water that goes through the tube, and then down here is the smaller tubes that go inside the big tube that's down your nose. So, after Nationwide Children's Hospital that I went to, we decided it wouldn't be very realistic to keep going back and forth from Florida to Ohio every month, because you have to get your stimulator adjusted. And they wanted you to like stay in the area for a month to make sure it was working okay after surgery. So I was able to contact the surgeon in Weston, Florida at the Cleveland Clinic, and I was 17 at the time, but he was an adult surgeon, and he decided to take me as a patient. Mine was done laparoscopically, but it can also be done the laparotomy way, where they like cut you open. I only have like 4 or 5 scars from it, and my biggest scar is like this big. It was like a 23-hour stay afterwards, and they had me try like some liquids to make sure I could keep them down before they released me. And then the next day when I was able to be released from the hospital, I tried mashed potatoes and I was able to keep them down. So that was very, very exciting. The device that actually adjusts your settings, it's called an interrogator device. This is what it looks like. And on the back of it, there's this part that comes out, and there's a wire connected to the machine, and you place it over where your stimulator is located. So then the doctor, he has a stylus that he like turns the machine on with, and then he'll like change the settings, like the cycle for it, how long it's on, how long it's off. Also, they do the voltage and what else is there?
You have
The
the
hertz.
paper there, right there somewhere.
Oh. And then if you get the Medtronic representative to come adjust it, then he'll like print out your actual settings, so you can see like what they are. And I thought this was really cool because I like keeping anything medical. So it talks about like your cycle, your rate, your voltage, and it makes sure that your stimulator is actually on and working. If not, then your symptoms come back. So this is another picture of what the device looks like that adjusts your settings. That's the front of it where the doctor adjusts it, and then this is the back of it. This part is the part that you place on your actual site of your stimulator, and it like winds out with a cord so you can place it in the right place. And if it's like off by a centimeter, then it won't read it. So you have to make sure it's actually on where it's supposed to be. And it kind of feels like bubble wrap in your stomach when it like adjusts. It's like a popping kind of feeling. So everybody always asks, like, what's it feel like? And I'm like, bubble wrap. Some complications that I've had with gastroparesis is high liver enzymes. I've also had my gallbladder removed, and my leads of my gastric stimulator poked a hole through my stomach wall. And that was this past March. So I had to have surgery to replace my lead. And ever since then, I have had complications with trying to eat again. So that's kind of discouraging, but when it does work, it was very, very helpful for me. I was able to eat more of a variety of foods and also bigger portions. I've also had vitamin deficiencies because when you're not getting the food and nutrition that you need, you can be deficient. I've had vitamin B12 deficiency and a vitamin D deficiency. You can also get malnourished and you can develop other diseases. I've developed, since I've had gastroparesis, I've developed visceral hyperalgesia, eosinophilic gastroenteritis, and Raynaud's, and also, what's the other one?
Pancreatitis.
Pancreatitis. I just had that and it's horrible. You can also get infections through some of the testing and treatments that you have. And that can also sometimes lead to death. And a lot of people, that's kind of like a controversy thing. They're like, well, does the disease actually cause death or is it the treatment? But several people have passed away from this disease. And in the last year, I think 4 or 5 people that I know of have passed away. So, when you're sick, you have basically like your doctors and your whole medical team become your best friends because you spend so much time in the medical setting. So that was my doctor. He recently moved, but he was like the one doctor that thought outside the box. And with gastroparesis, it's not like a textbook kind of case. Like, that's very detailed and there's not a lot of research about it. So you have to be really creative with trying to find the right kind of treatments and what's best for you. Nurses are also very helpful. I was in the hospital the whole month of June, and I was at All Children's Hospital in St. Pete. When you're sick in the hospital for a long time, you get to know the nurses very well. And one thing that I've learned with being sick is that you have to appreciate everybody that's on your team, whether it be your nurses, your doctors, the housekeeper, your tech, whatever it is, because they're all working together to help you get better. So, that was my tech, and he always brought me G-PACT because I was having a lot of abdominal pain when I had pancreatitis. And like I said, everybody is important. Even because somebody is a doctor doesn't mean that they're more important than like the housekeeper or something, because everybody has to work together to make you feel better. So, other treatments, I know that they have like occupational therapy and physical therapy in children and adult hospitals. But another thing that's at the children's hospitals is child life. So they let you have like pet therapy and they bring dogs in each week to come visit you, and that kind of like brings a smile to your face and makes you feel a little bit better. They also have like planned activities, whether it be like art or crafts, or sometimes they'll have like people come in and teach you music or dance. So that's exciting too, because there's not a lot you can do and there's only so many movies you can watch while you're in the hospital. They also let you have special visitors. When I was in the hospital, they decided that since I'd been there so long, that they would let me bring my dog in. So that's my dog right there. So that was very exciting because I didn't get to see her for like half a month, and then before that it was a whole month. So that makes it a little bit better when you have people coming to visit you, because it can get very lonesome sometimes in the hospital.